Is our next guest ready to go? Do we know if our next guest is ready to fire away? Good to go. All right, wonderful. We welcome him back here. I think we should establish some ground rules, Jay.
Well, you already know the first one.
Well, if he won't talk about the Dodgers,
there we go.
We won't talk about the Raiders. Does
okay.
that seem fair? Let's see if he'll
like
agree to that.
I like it.
Yeah, formerly covered the Kings.
Two different sports. Hold up. That's two different sports now.
Jason Jones. Do you agree to those terms, Jason? Can we continue under those terms?
I mean, you at least have to. I mean, see, the Raiders shouldn't be spoken on just in general. So, I mean, that's easy, But the Dodgers are champions, But yeah, no one should talk about the Raiders right now. I mean, who else has the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league to get 7 points?
Yeah, it wasn't very entertaining.
I will gladly ignore that franchise for you guys.
Every year it seems like now, maybe this is only the second year you've done it because we haven't had the Cup for that many years, but I know that you participate in the Athletics ranking of the Cup court designs for the Athletic last year. I don't think Kyle Draper appreciated how forthright you were, but what do you make of, before we get to that, what do you make of what Russell Westbrook's doing for the Kings, Jason?
I think Russell's going to produce no matter where he goes. I mean, Russ is a guy who plays with you never question his effort. You never question that he wants to win. I think Russ is going to do that no matter where he is. I don't think in the totality that ever having a Russell Westbrook is a bad thing. I mean, people talk about his fit, does he shoot, whatever. He does. I think Russ does whatever he thinks needs to be done to win, and you can never be mad about that.
Yeah, definitely. Joined by Jason Jones. Before we get to this obligatory, whatever we want to call it, I like to make fun of it, Jason, as far as the in-season tournament. I will allow you to expound on the Dodgers because you're a Long Beach guy. Yeah, listen, Jason is –
We set the ground rules. It was agreed
but
upon.
understandable because, I'm going to fire back some hate anywhere it goes, right? All those scandals and everything else that the Dodgers have going on, man. Well, we'll let you drop 60 seconds of because I'm going to tell you this, and this is why I do this, is because if any of my teams ever win, the 60 seconds that we allow guys like Jason to get off, then I'm going 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10. You have to cut me off. So, Dodgers, your guys won the championship. What's your thoughts?
Man, it's the team that, people question about the salaries, but that was a win that was heart, that was grit, that was resilience. And this team has been resilient for a while. Even during the regular season, every time you thought they were done, it looked like the Padres were finally going to overtake them. Whatever you thought it was, this group has always found a way to kind of bounce back. Then they run through the playoffs, get down 3. You get down 3-2, 2 games on the road. They figure it out somehow. I don't know how you can hate on what Yamamoto did. I mean, that's stuff of legend. So yeah, it was a beautiful day. Blue sky outside. Clearly, that's a sign of the Dodgers rule. Blue skies, everything. Long live the Dodgers. Whatever superlatives we need, I've got them for the Dodgers.
You asked for all that.
Well, I told you.
You opened that door.
Equal opportunity around here, big time.
God's franchise, whatever you want to call it.
Don't want to call it that.
Whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. How about this? The NBA Cup court. For those who haven't seen the mock-up, Jason, what would you tell Kings fans about what they're going to see tonight on TV or here at the arena when they see the new in-season tournament court for the Kings?
A lot of gray again. I'm just like, I'm like, I would love. See, then again, I would love for their city, for them to wear like the old Kansas City Blues and blue color and incorporate that into the court. To me, that would be dope. Gray and that doesn't move me. But if they can somehow get that old KC blue in there, now we're talking. Now we're talking about a top 10 court probably. And even with the design, it's hard to tell that's a crown. It looks more like you're trying to hypnotize me.
Here's what he wrote, Jay. This is Jason Jones on the Kings court. Quote, "Gray tiles on a kitchen floor. I get there's a crown on the floor, but the lines are sending me to the twilight zone." That's Jason Jones.
Jay, you guys had it ranked 26th. That was you, Jay King, Josh Robbins, and I'm forgetting one other person, right?
I think Eric Kareem.
Eric Kareem. There you go.
Out of Toronto.
But it was 26 out of 30. Jay, you couldn't represent us a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, we're not used to winning things around here. We could have at least won the in-season tournament floor fashion
I don't know what you
show.
wanted me to
I mean,
do
nothing.
With that. What was I supposed to do? I mean, I wasn't the one on the rankings making fun of Sacramento proud. I mean, that was Jay King, like, proud. What are they proud about?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. See, I didn't take a dig. I just was like, I'm just not digging this. But I didn't take a shot at the Kings, really. I mean, Jay was like, oh my God, I'm like, that's kind of mean. I mean, Sacramento proud is more than. I mean, I'm a guy was out there. I get it. You know, if you saw what those fans went through 12, 13 years ago, you'd understand. You know, and I always say. Even though I joke and tell everyone that fandom is a choice and you can choose not to be a fan of a bad team, I salute anybody who stayed loyal to the Kings because, my God, you all have been through a lot.
So real fast to follow it up, because I looked at Portland, I just went back because Portland tied with Orlando. I like Orlando.
First,
tied for first with Orlando with 104 points. And I didn't really dive into the point system, but Portland looks pretty close to Sacramento.
Gray, right?
Yeah,
it's also gray.
It's got a lot of parallel lines, and I don't see a lot different in that Portland.
Yeah, I didn't have Portland as high as the other guys did. My number one sport, I think, was New York. I wasn't
with the city.
I'm a sucker for city skylines. So I thought the whole New York skyline was pretty cool. You know, but
I remember.
Everyone else liked Portland way more than me.
Okay.
And I thought that
I
was
remember
interesting.
last
Everyone
year.
else was, I like that. I'm like, because to me that looks really different on the court because it's not just the same pattern. That looks different. I like that. Yeah, but I wasn't head over heels about Portland. I was kind of like, all right, it's Portland. You know, I wasn't like, wow, but they seem to really like Portland. And I was like, okay,
I remember you last year.
I figured maybe I'm missing something about Portland, and maybe I just don't have a good sense of fashion, which is highly possible that I just don't have any sense of fashion. I can believe that.
Is it hard to judge what the designs are actually going to look like when they're on a basketball floor as opposed to the mock-ups that we see?
Yeah, because we get them. We get like the designs or whatever from the league or whatever, but we don't get to see, and sometimes they look better or worse on television. Some stuff is not translated as well on TV as others. I'm afraid something like Charlotte may not look nearly as cool on TV, but the design itself looks great to me, so it's all a matter, and for whatever reason, I don't know if any red court looks good. I don't know.
That's interesting. Washington's is red.
But they had Washington. First for Washington, this is probably the best part of their season at this court. And I like that. I like the ode to the bullets with the big hand popping through. I like that.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what made Washington good for me was the big hand popping out. I know it's simple. I know it's basic, but hey, I like it. I like to me that was pretty cool. But in general,
well, we appreciate your time, Jason. Yeah.
Oh, no problem. Like I said, anytime the Dodgers are winning, I'm glad to come on and give you all the fan insight of the struggle of being a Dodger fan in 2025. It's so hard right now.
It must be tough. It must be tough.
Winning, what am I going to do with well, I need it too. But I get balanced out because I also watch the Raiders, and so you see the best and the worst.
Yeah. Which do you think is more likely? This Kings team, as currently constituted, ends up competing, maybe even qualifying for the play-in, or at the deadline, one, maybe two of the larger names, bigger salaried guys are sent on their way and the rebuild begins?
See, they're in that. I think they've got enough to compete for the play-in. But the problem is, I think that may just be their ceiling, though, and that's where it's frustrating for a fan. you don't look at this team and see like, you don't see, say, 20, a long-term vision with this group as it's currently constructed. Right. So, so I still think, and it's tough because who are you going to move and what are you going to get back? And some of this stuff is not on Scott Perry. It's not his fault the Kings didn't get really any draft capital back for De'Aaron. And I think, in some ways, the way this team is built, you make a trade like that and you bring in Zach LaVine because you want to still compete. And is this team competitive enough? No, it's probably going to be in that, play-in range. But you have to figure out, wonder, is there going to be a team out there that says, one of these guys is the difference between us being a contender or not? And I don't know if at this stage of their careers any of the Kings' top guys are going to move anyone like that. Maybe it's a bonus, but do you want to trade for bonus? But I think, this might just be a matter of see what you get through. I don't have it in front of me to know what their cap situation is long term. But we do know one thing with this apron. Teams are going to be, moving salary. It's not the same type of, deal making that it was years ago. So
Jason Jones. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, we always appreciate your time. Most of it, that was a little too much Dodger stuff, but that's really on Jay.
Yeah, open the door.
You practically begged for it, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah, he really did. I wasn't going to go there, but he was like, please remind me how great the Dodgers are. And I'm like, I'll gladly oblige you.
Well, I'm sure it must have been AI, Jay, talking.
Thanks, Jay. We'll talk to you soon. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon. All right, take care.
Okay, yeah, he does a lot of great stuff for The Athletic. Jason Jones, former beat writer for your Kings here for the Sacramento Bee.
Real quick before we go to break, then Jay King, who, if people don't know who Jay King is, he's a longtime Boston guy. He writes for the Celtics, of course, for The Athletic, which Jason Jones is still part of. And Jay King, if you go look at the Celtics court, it's worse than the Kings. And it's not even because I'm a Kings and a Celtics.
He's the one that was really coming after Sacramento?
Yeah, and then he says, "Ode to the simple nodes of Boston," and they have nothing but squares. Man, I'm about to get Jay King on.
Yeah,
I've known Jay for a long time, and I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna get the FCC rules ready just in case to see what I can say and what I can't say.
All right, yeah. Do a little prep work and then fire away.
That's
fire when ready.
Yeah,
we're coming to you poolside here from Revival. When we come back, is the NFL pushing the tackle out of tackle football? Next, Sactown Sports.
The holidays can be